Welcome to the Endurance Horse Podcast, where endurance riders from all across the globe gather, sharing their stories, goals, and progress as they train for and compete in endurance events at every level. So kick off your shoes, pull up a chair, and listen as we gather around the virtual campfire and listen to friends from across the world.
So today on Endurance Horse Podcast, I'm your host, Christina Hyke. And we are going to be talking a little bit about the American Discovery Trail. We're going to be talking about Mustangs, and we're also going to be talking about a bipartisan House of Representatives that is in committee right now. It is H.R. 4878, and it is going to be talking about making the American Discovery Trail a national trail. So to tell you a little bit about the American Discovery Trail, I will just take this directly from their information on their page. The American Discovery Trail is a new breed of national trail. It is part city, part town, part forest, part mountain, and desert, all in one trail. It is 6,800 plus miles of continuous, multi-use trails that stretch from Delaware to California. It reaches across America, linking community to community in the first coast-to-coast, non-motorized trail. The American Discovery Trail provides trail users with the opportunity to journey into the heart of all that is uniquely American. Its culture, its heritage, its landscape, and its spirit. Now, the unique thing about the Discovery Trail is it will be the only trail that is coast to coast, but as it is right now, it is not nationally recognized as such, that it is a national trail. And really, within one piece of this trail being lost, the chain could be broken. So that is the reason that in the House of Representatives on July 30th of this year, 2021, that a bipartisan bill was put forward. And they want to amend the National Trail System Act to include the National Discovery Trail. All of this trail is not all horse friendly, but a lot of it definitely is. And there is a northern route and there is a southern route. So if you want to go to discoverytrail.org, it's all one word, discoverytrail.org, you can learn more about the American Discovery Trail. The other part of this podcast, in the beginning, we're going to be talking to Lisa Diersen, who is the founder and director of the EQUUS Film Festival. Lisa champions all types of media, from books to podcasts, documentaries, and movies that focus on the equine. Lisa is famous for saying every horse has a story, and that it is her mission to share those stories through film, art, and literature through the EQUUS Film Festival. To learn more about the EQUUS Film Festival, you can go to equusfilmfestival.net. So let's talk a little bit about the other part of this story, which is the Mustang Discovery Ride. Two young tip trainers are going to set out to cover 5,000 miles across the country using the American Discovery Trail. Lizanne Fear is a rider and trainer of Mustangs, and Hannah Catalino, she is also a trainer and rider, and she will be going across on this journey. Lisa Diersen is the executive director who is helping the girls to plan this trip and make connections for them along the way. They are going to hope to stop in each state and have a clinic or a meet and greet, have connections all along the way. There's also a documentary being made on this trip. So when we got involved with WARHORSE Endurance, we are also going to have a virtual that will help support these young trainers. And I encourage you to go to their website, mustangdiscovery.com, and you can become a sponsor. You can donate. Or if you would like to have a little memento from this trip, you can join. We're going to share a link. You can join the virtual event, which would be a 5,000-mile goal. Now, I know that's a large goal to reach for, but you're also supporting this cause. And so WARHORSE Endurance is going to have the opportunity to partner with the Mustang Discovery Trail. And we are going to offer a patch, a pin, and a medallion for signing up for this event, supporting the trainers. and it's going to be a wonderful thing. We're going to work with them on the podcast. They're going to update us about where they are, how things are going. And as kind of a bonus to the first 500 people who sign up for this virtual, we are going to have your name on a plaque at the headquarters for the American Discovery Trail. And you will also have your name on a plaque at the Mustang Heritage Foundation headquarters for the first 500 people who sign up. At the end of the documentary, the first 500 people who sign up for the 5,000-mile virtual, you will have your name listed in the documentary, in the credits. On top of that, if you want to connect with Lisa, we'll have her contact information, or you can contact Endurance Horse Podcast at gmail.com, and we'll connect you with them. If you have a horse that's traffic safe and well-trained, you're welcome to join along with them. Now, we can't guarantee that you'll be in the documentary, but it's possible because they will be most days filming for this. But that's a lot of footage, and it will get pared down. I just think it's a great way to champion not just the Mustang, but also horses in general, because they will be having media attention along the way. And yes, it's mainly to focus on the Mustang. But as you know, one of my favorite things to ask people on this podcast is, how did you get into horses? And sometimes it's just that first time you got to meet the horse. So Hannah and Lizanne are going to be going across this country as a moving billboard to promote the love of the horse, the love of the Mustang, and the love of the trail. So without further ado, I welcome you to episode 49 of Endurance Horse Podcast. Today on Endurance Horse Podcast, we are talking with Lisa Diersen, Executive Director of the Mustang Discovery Foundation. Lisa is also the founder and director of the EQUUS Film and Arts Festival. So Lisa, tell us about this wonderful new thing you're doing called the Mustang Discovery Foundation.
Well, hi, Christina. Thanks for having me on the show. It's a fun, exciting new way to explore, I think, the middle of the United States, on a trail that I had no idea existed until my dear friend Trudy Midas with Espana Silk introduced me to Hannah and Lizanne, and meeting the girls end up being the directing end of the adventure. I took on the position. It's been a lot of fun just getting everything lined up, geared up, getting sponsors together, all of that, and working with you with your Warhorse Endurance. It's just a blast so far.
Tell us what Mustang Discovery Trail, 5,000 miles, 5,000 Mustangs. What is this about?
Our riders have a goal of 5,000 miles riding across the country on this American Discovery Trail. For each mile they ride, the Mustang horse gets adopted, and preferably we'd like to have the adopted Mustangs be tip-trained Mustangs, which is the training program, the training incentive program that the Mustang Heritage Foundation has in place to train the Mustang horses and get them out into the world instead of just your average rider thinking they want a Mustang and having never trained a Mustang or have the experience with them. We can provide the general public with a tip-trained Mustang that's gone through the program, that's ready to go into the home and be a wonderful addition to your herd at home.
Where does this ride and when does this ride start? When do Lizanne and Hannah start out?
They'll start September 28th and 29th. Everything hinges on the weather in Delaware at Cape Henlope State Park. They're going to ride off of the beach, and they're going to head west through Delaware, which is not very big. It's 44 and a half miles wide. But they're going to ride through Delaware and head to Maryland. And when they get to Maryland, they're going to be riding into the Tuckahoe Horse Festival, which is kicking off. The month of October is Maryland Horse Industry Month, celebrating the horse in all different ways. So the girls will ride into there, be part of that event on the 2nd, and then they're going to ride out and start to head towards the D.C. area. And our goal is to reach Washington, D.C. by October 12th, where they'll meet up with some more Mustang Heritage Foundation. We have two veterans, Jimmy Welsh and Patty Gruber, who are going to be riding with them. They run a program outside of Chicago called Operation Wild Horse, Veteran Mustang Rehabilitation Program. and they're going to come and ride with the girls as they go through the D.C. area. And hopefully we'll be meeting with some congressmen. We kind of urge everyone to call and contact their congressmen in their areas to get them involved, because right now the American Discovery Trail is to become the first national recognized east to west trail that's ever been part of the United States trail system. So this is super exciting that the girls are going to be riding on that trail for that time, at this time, while this bill is in front of Congress right now.
So listeners, they should call their representative to support the H.R. 4878 National Discovery Trails Act, because until you had told me about the American Discovery Trail, I had never heard of it either. And so when I looked it up, I was just astounded that there was a trail system that runs east to west. And I don't want to mislead anybody. It's not all horse friendly. Obviously, the part that goes across the Golden Gate Bridge, not horse friendly, but it is coast to coast trail. It is not currently national trail. And that's why one of the things they're doing, these young trainers, is that they're bringing awareness to the Mustangs and the burros, but they're also bringing awareness to this National Discovery Trails Act so that this trail could be protected. Because right now, if it's unprotected, if it's not a national trail, correct me if I'm wrong, but let's just say if it goes through Ohio, and a part of Ohio, they say, no, we're going to do something else, and this isn't going to be part of the trail anymore, it could break the whole trail.
Exactly.
This bill needs to get through. All sides of the aisle should be able to come together and preserve this before it's all developed.
Yeah, exactly.
One other thing I wanted to bring up, you said September 25th in Maryland, the American Mustang and Burro Delmarva chapter has a Meet the Mustangs event. We're hoping that if you live in that area and you would like to meet Lisanne and Hannah and their horses, you can come out to the American Mustang Meet Us event there. And then also the Foxley Mini Horse Rescue in Maryland is going to have a clinic, and you're hoping to set up at least one clinic, one meet and greet in each state. Is that correct?
Yes. Our goal right now is to have a minimum of one clinic in each state that the girls are going to be riding in. And one of the other things we're going to be doing in Maryland when we'll be there is the 14th of October. We'll have all of that confirmed up in the next couple of weeks. In Bel Air, Maryland, is at the Armory, and we're going to be hosting a film screening of a new Mustang documentary that's going to be making a nationwide premiere in the next few months. They're hoping to hit 70 cities, LA and New York. This is a pretty important documentary about the American Mustang horse. So the girls will be kind of the Mustang ambassadors at that event, spreading the word on how versatile these horses are, and also saving an American icon.
Absolutely. You mentioned the documentary that will be debuting. Could you also share your vision for the documentary that's being made of the Mustang Discovery Trail?
Well, oh gosh, it's big. We're going to be trying to set it up in a few different ways. One will be as a docu-series frame, and then we'll go to a regular, 90-minute documentary with painting a broad brush, but the docu-series will be a much more up-close and intimate, kind of every little piece of the adventure. We're working on a couple of different books. One will be a coffee table, and then the other will be the girls are journaling their ride. So there's all kinds of things that are coming out of this that are super exciting. It's all really, really exciting.
And then because we do have the WARHORSE Endurance Challenges, people can sign up. We're going to have virtual called the Mustang Discovery Trail 5,000 Mile Challenge, and people can sign up for that. A portion of that money will go directly into the fund for the foundation, which is a charity. When I was speaking with Lisanne, she said, if somebody would donate an extra $5 at checkout, that would be like if we have 500 people sign up, it'd be $5,000. So it would literally pay for the hay for the horse for the whole trip. So, and somebody might think, well, $5 isn't that much, but that's part of why we're doing the virtual, is so that we can all band together. And if we all send $5 and then maybe another $5, then we can really be part of this and support this. Because I don't know about you, Lisa, but I can't leave my family and my horses and my life and go out and do this. Mm-hmm. My kids would not approve, neither would my husband. So to support these young trainers, to go have this epic journey, and to get to be part of that, I think is just a piece that we can do to help the Mustang. It's a piece that we can do to highlight horses again, because as you know, registrations are on the decline, horse ownership is on the decline. So even if you're not a big fan of Mustangs, if you're a big fan of horses and you help these girls, they're basically this interactive walking billboard for a solid year and beyond, because they're going to have this documentary that is going to go on and on and on, and keep advertising the Mustang and keep advertising horses. And I just think that that's a beautiful thing. I think that's a great thing to be part of. And like you and I talked about, the first 500 people to sign up for the virtual event, they will have a plaque. I will pay to have 2 plaques made. One will go to the headquarters for the American Discovery Trail. The other plaque will go to the Mustang Heritage Foundation headquarters. And then you were saying that these first 500 riders can be put at the end in the credits of the documentary.
Yes, so we'll have a thank you.
I think that even though if you've never done a virtual, or if you've done them before, you sign up and you ride when you ride and you log it and you just keep a rider's log. It might take a very long time to do it. There's no end date completion that you have to end by, but you get to be a part of this history, part of the Mustang history, part of this trails history. And hopefully if you call your Congress rep and tell them, hey, we want this Discovery Trails Act, HR 4878 to go through, let's do something bipartisan, let's get this through. So this whole thing is not just about these 2 trainers, it's about horses in general, it's about the Mustangs, it's about this trail, and I just invite everybody to just join, be part of it. Check out their website, Mustang Discovery. It is a beautiful website and has a video on there displaying 2 riders are phenomenal trainers. Like you were saying earlier in a conversation with me, that Hannah's traveled to Germany to give clinic.
Yes, they do wonderful Liberty clinics. I watched Hannah do a clinic out at Art of the Cowgirl that was absolutely astonishing. She had three Mustangs out. She was doing a Liberty clinic demonstration with all 3 of these horses. The one horse, he never kind of had been out doing it before, and she just brought him out anyway in front of everyone. And she had the crowd in the palm of her hands. That was really cool for me to see.
You know, something that I think is pretty important too is that although there are a lot of Mustangs that need adopted, there's also a lot of burros that need adopted.
If every barn out there took one home, gave a home to one of these Mustangs or one of these burros or one of the rare Mustangs that are out there, there would not be an issue. Everyone would be in a home. That's just the simple math of it.
They actually excel at endurance, and this is Endurance Horse Podcast. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the number 1 horse is the Arabian. They excel at endurance. The number 2 breed is half Arabian. And I do believe, last time I checked, that the 3rd best competing horse is Mustang. A Mustang won the Hagen Cup a few years back. They're very capable for endurance. I know I don't have the facilities to take in a fresh Mustang, but the adoption fee is so low, I believe it's $125, that if you got with a tip trainer, so I hope people could consider a Mustang, because for $125 you adopt the Mustang, you can hire a tip trainer, and then if you put additional training on with your favorite trainer, they're going to be, you know, a good horse. I have a couple friends like Tracy Porter, TJ Clibborn, Dan Grunwald. They've all taken Mustangs and done amazing things within 100 days. And so if you're in Wisconsin, which I think a portion of our listenership is Wisconsin, Illinois, those are 3 trainers you could send your Mustang to. You could definitely contact those trainers and say, I want a Mustang, help me find one I would like to work with, and then work with me. And I think for the price that you could buy a started, you know, horse, you could definitely adopt one of these Mustangs, have a piece of history, and help get these, you know, help us get to 5,000 adoptions.
Right. And the American Mustang has been said that it is not a native species, and that statement is wrong. We now have the documentation and the DNA proof to prove that the American Mustang that we all know now is the original Equus caballus. It is the original horse. All horses on Earth basically evolved off of the North American plateau kind of the center of the country, between Nebraska and Iowa and the east side of the Rocky Mountains 50,000 years ago. They were off of this plateau for approximately 7,000 years when the Spanish reintroduced the horse, which is the Spanish horse, which came back. That's why they did so well and why they still look so Iberian. A lot of them look very, very, like the Iberian horse. We have a lot of documentaries in the EQUUS Film Festival that address this, that all of the research and all of the history behind them. They've been here as long as the saber-toothed tiger, as long as the woolly mammoth, the American bison. The American Mustang is native to America. So this is our history. This is our horse. This is, it's something to get, passionate about. And preserving this history is, we just don't want to see them wiped off of the face of the earth, which would just be a sad and tragic event to have that happen.
Right.
So that's why the ride is happening, to bring awareness to these wonderful horses.
I believe that this whole event can be so interactive and so positive and so much good publicity for horses and for Mustangs and the TIP program. People can absolutely join the virtual and follow along that way.
Yes.
They can go to clinics. Yes. They can go to meet and greet. They can, I just kind of am thinking that if they look at the route that this trail goes through, and if there's some local riding clubs there that maybe they do want to ride along as a club.
Non-TIP trainers will be asked to make a donation. They can ride for a day with the girls. They can ride for a week with the girls. We have people who might want to ride for a month with them. It is so cool.
In a way, it's a celebration of the horse, and it's a celebration of preserving the trail system in this country. So I would really like to encourage our listeners to either be part of the virtual or donate directly or meet up with them. Even if you can't ride with them, maybe you can just go up and meet up with them and take some photos with them and maybe give them a donation. See if they need anything.
Dinner.
Buy them dinner. Bring them a bale of hay and buy them dinner. But so I'm looking forward to talking to the girls and possibly you once a month. And maybe at the end of our regular podcast, we'll just have like a 10-minute update on where they're at, how things are going. And then, because I know this is evolving as you go, then we'll have solid dates on, okay, they're in West Virginia and they're doing this in West Virginia. And then we'll be able to put that out there for everybody to follow along.
Yes, exactly. And it's going to be, this is America's horse on America's trail and for Americans. We want people to join. We want it to be for everyone. And interactive is the key.
Absolutely. We love Mustangs at Endurance Horse Podcast, and at WARHORSE Endurance, we had the Pony Express 1900-mile challenge that we had opened up last year that did very well. And then we also supported the Black Hills Wild Horse Sanctuary. So we're definitely very supportive of the Mustang and of our history. And I feel like this is history in the making. I think this is a wonderful grand adventure that you're helping these young ladies with. And with that, I want you to go ahead and mention some of their sponsorships that they had, because they can't do it without sponsors, and they can't do it without us helping them along. So I hope that there becomes a steady wave of help the whole way across this country. And I don't get political or anything on the podcast, but, you'd have to be under a rock not to know there's negativity in the air right now. And what a positive thing to be part of. What a positive thing to fund and give, a few dollars to, or lend some support, or just be along the route and say, we're proud of you, keep going, you're doing a great job. But so some of their sponsors are the Mustang Heritage Foundation.
Well, the Mustang Heritage Foundation is their title sponsor, and Mustang Leadership Partners, along with the Chattanooga Girls Leadership Academy, are out there really. They've been key to everything. Espana Silk products are wonderful horse care products. Maryland Horse Industry Board has been super supportive of the girls. Crypto Arrow Whole Horse Feed. That feed is unbelievable looking. Like you want to put some milk on it and eat it. It's just like yummy looking feed. And Omega Fields, which is a Wisconsin company, they're sponsoring the girls. And today they just signed on a saddle sponsor that has come on board, Saddle Up Treeless Saddle. They'll be making 3 custom saddles for these girls to have, because riding along with them for most of the trip will be different videographers and filmmakers, because we're going to utilize some of our EQUUS Film and Arts Festival amazing filmmakers. Each part of the journey will be seen through different lenses of different filmmakers, which I think is super cool.
Yes. Brilliant.
Storytelling way. Here's the best thing I can tell a potential sponsor is that they are a moving billboard that is going from Delaware to California for 12 months across the heart of the United States.
Well, Lisa, I want to thank you for including Endurance Horse Podcast and thinking of us. I would strongly encourage everyone to go to their website, mustangdiscovery.com. They have a beautiful video on there. You will be wowed by the horsemanship with these 2 young trainers, where I think they're going to be a fabulous moving billboard. And we look forward to talking to you again.
Well, thank you so much for having us all on the show, Christina.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to episode 49 of Endurance Horse Podcast. I'm so excited that the next episode is episode 50. We will have part 2 of this topic. We will have Lisanne and Hannah on the next episode of Endurance Horse Podcast, and you'll get to hear the trainers talk about their passion for the Mustang and about their trip. I hope you'll consider going to WARHORSEendurance.com and joining the virtual so that we can pair together. And, you know, I never have commercials on Endurance Horse Podcast. 2 ways that you can help support us and keep Endurance Horse Podcast going is you can go on to Apple Podcasts and give us a positive rating. If you don't like the podcast, just stop listening. Don't give us a bad rating. It doesn't help us at all. Don't hurt us. And so the second way you can help us is by supporting the Warhorse Endurance Challenges. And if you go on to warhorseendurance.com, it's all one word. Join the Mustang Discovery Trail 5,000 Mile Challenge, and then you'll be supporting not only Endurance Horse Podcast, supporting the Mustang Discovery Foundation. And you get to be part of this piece of history. Let's get it made a national trail so that we don't lose more trail. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you all. I hope you're having a great riding season. Whether you're conditioning or if you're competing, I hope everything's going good for you. Ride far, ride well, ride often, and we'll talk again soon. To share your story on Endurance Horse Podcast, send an email to endurancehorsepodcast@gmail.com.
We enjoyed having you along for the ride. Endurance Horse Podcast is where you get to share your adventures of riding good horses through beautiful country. Many stresses in life are washed away by a good gallop, a steady trot, or by simply saddling up your favourite horse for an easy ride. Remember, every mile a memory.